Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie and I'm here to do another unhaul. So I've mentioned in the last two unhauls that I've done that I had a huge box of books or two boxes of books that I was going to go through. I finally managed to do that and it was just the one, but it was like a huge box. So I had lots of things in there. But today I'm going to show you, I guess, half of them. And then, my partner and I are about to go and do a little free library run and donate a bunch of these and see if we can find anything that either of us wants. So, let's get into them. I have this bag, this old Woolies bag that Percy has tried to eat because he really likes eating paper and cardboard. Or chewing it at least, I don't know. But first I do have this little tote bag that just has like 3 in it randomly. Okay. So in here I have Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Sutano. I picked this one up last year. I read a little bit of it, but I put it down and then I just didn't think about it at all for a couple of months. And I was like, you know what, I don't think I actually want to read it because I didn't even remember that I owned it, let alone that I'd started it. So that makes me think that I didn't really want it. I have a couple that I've read as well. This is the Gilded ones by Nimina Fauna. I read this one in a vlog I did in January, I think it was, in which I basically read the opposite of what you told me to. And this was one of them. I didn't enjoy this one at all. I think I ended up DNFing it, but yeah. Time for it to go. I have The Boy from the Mish by Gary Lonesborough. I've also read this one. I did enjoy this one, but I don't think it's one that I'm going to reread. I'm just not that into YA contemporaries anymore. So I just feel like this is one that other people would benefit from more, and especially donating it to a little free library. Hopefully it will go to someone who will enjoy this and, reread it and pass it on themselves and things like that. I have another two that I've read. I have Rosemary and Rue by Mcguire, which is the first book in the October Day series. I read this one, which is also part of a video, which you still have not seen, even though I read this in January or February or early in the year. Anyway, I didn't enjoy this one either. And I just can't get past the name October Day. Usually I can look past that, and sometimes I even kind of like it when characters have those kind of weird names, but not in this one. And then I have The Winter King by C.L. Wilson, which I read, I think, in February as well. This is a huge, chunky book. It's a fantasy historical romance. I really enjoyed, I don't know, maybe the first half of this, or maybe even first 3/4. But then it started going downhill, and then it went downhill very quickly. And I ended up giving this a 2-star, and I hated it by the end. Two that I haven't read. I have A Time of Exile by Catherine Kerr. This is meant to be book 1 in the Westlands cycle, but pretty sure when I checked Goodreads, it's part of a larger series, and I just haven't been able to find any of the others anywhere. And I also just don't know that I want to start another big fantasy series. I don't know. So I got this one for $1 anyway, so there's that. I have After the Funeral by Agatha Christie. Absolutely nothing wrong with this one, haven't read it, but I have been replacing my Poirot collection slowly so that they all match, and this is the like mass market size, and I've been reading the new ones from HarperCollins that are like just the average paperback size. So I've only been unhauling these once I get the replacement, in case for whatever reason I can't get a replacement and I come to read that book and I've unhauled it. Okay, here I have a bunch of romances. This is The Wicked Lady by Brenda K. Jernigan, maybe. How to Kiss a Hero by Sandy Higston, and My Seduction by Connie Brockway. I got these all either in, like little free libraries or from op shops, and it just came to it and I was like, I'm never gonna read any of these, like I'm just not, so I'm gonna pass them on. I have On Photography by Susan Sontag. I'm like 80% sure that I've read this one, but I can't remember. But I think I have, and I think that I did enjoy it, but I don't think that it's one that I would read again. I don't think that it is. I read this because art history major, thought it would be relevant, and I think I learned stuff from it, but I think it's not something that I'm going to come back to. So I need the room. Okay, last couple here. I've got two fiction. I have 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes. This was, I think, the first book I bought this year and one of the first that I read. And I didn't like this either. My problem with this was that it followed so many perspectives that I would just get confused. But I have since read Natalie Haynes' non-fiction work, and I loved that. That was incredible and one of my favorites of the year. So I think that for me, she's just a stronger non-fiction author, so I will be following her if she publishes any more of that, but not necessarily any more fiction. And then I have The Grandest Bookshop in the World by Amelia Melo. This is about a bookshop that used to exist here in Melbourne called Cole's Book Arcade, and I was really excited because like that sounds fantastic, and I love a good, who doesn't love a middle grade set in a bookshop? Like, so fun. However, I did try this one. It was surprisingly dark and creepy, and it just wasn't really the vibe that I was after. So I think this will be, I think like a young kid would really enjoy this. So passing that on. Okay. And then two non-fictions. I have Female Husbands, a trans history by Jen Manion. I tried to read this one and I struggled a bit with it. I don't remember why now because this was a couple of months ago. But I think it was just kind of hard to follow. And then finally I choose Elena by Lucia Osborne Crowley. So this is a memoir about, so Lucia was sexually assaulted while out in Sydney one night, and that follows, well, this follows sort of the aftermath of that. She was an Olympian why can't I say that word? She was an Olympian gymnast, and she ends up getting like devastatingly ill and and deals with chronic illness and pain and things like that. Again, I tried to read this one and it was just too much for me. It was very emotional, and it just was not something that I thought that I could get through with my mental health, so I decided to skip it. Don't you dare. But that is it. That is everything that I have for this one. I think I will again space out these unhauls, and that you will see the next one I think next month, and then I will probably try and go through a few and do some unhauls and things of other things on my shelves between now and the end of the year. But for now, that is all. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're doing well. I'll see you next time. Bye.